What does it take for a village boy selling chicken by the roadside to rise against all odds to the highest office in his country? The story of President William Ruto is a testament to ambition, controversy, resilience, and the unpredictable drama of Kenyan politics. His journey from the dusty lanes of Kamagut to State House is not just a tale of personal triumph. It is a mirror reflecting the hopes, struggles, and contradictions of a nation. William Kipchirchir Samoei Arap Ruto, Kenya's fifth president, is a figure whose life story reads like a political thriller. Born in rural Uasin Gishu, he ascended from modest beginnings to become a central player in Kenya's often turbulent political landscape. Ruto's rise has been marked by tenacity, calculated alliances, and a knack for political reinvention.
Wakasema William Ruto atafika kwa debe, lakini akishinda kura ya rais hatatangazwa kwa sababu iko deep state na iko system ati wataninyang'anya kura.
Along the way, he has weathered fierce controversies, survived political betrayals.
Munataka kurudi kwa moto ama munataka kuokoka? Munataka kuokoka? Njia ya kuokoka ni baba.
And branded himself as the champion of the hustler nation, the millions of ordinary Kenyans striving for a better life. Ruto was born on January 21st, 1967 in Sambut village, Kamagut, Uasin Gishu County, to Daniel and Sarah Cheruiyot. A member of the Kalenjin community, his early life was shaped by the rhythms of rural Kenya, herding livestock, selling chickens, and attending local schools. These humble beginnings would later become the cornerstone of his political identity, allowing him to connect with Kenya's vast underclass by presenting himself as one of their own, common mwananchi.
We are hustlers, and we are one, and we are united. And our business is how everybody's hustle will be improved, how to inspire everybody, how to support everybody.
Ruto's educational journey began at Kamagut Primary School before transferring to Keratet Primary School, both in Uasin Gishu. He completed his primary education at Keratet, then moved on to Warring Secondary School for his O-levels, and Kapsabet High School in Nandi County for his A-levels. His academic pursuits led him to the University of Nairobi, where he studied botany and zoology, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in 1990. Not content with just one degree, Ruto later obtained a Master of Science in Plant Ecology from the same university and, after years of persistence, earned a PhD in 2018. His doctoral thesis focused on plant species diversity in Nairobi National Park, reflecting a lifelong interest in the environment. During his university years, Ruto was active in the Christian Union and led the university choir. It was through church activities that he first met President Daniel Arap Moi, a meeting that would change the trajectory of his life, introducing him to the world of politics. Away from the political limelight, William Ruto is rooted in family and faith. He is married to Rachel Shebe, and together they have 7 children. Ruto is known for his deep Christian faith, often referencing his religious convictions in public speeches and maintaining a visible presence in church activities.
And because God gave as an example, we are going to give in keeping so that the word of God can reach others.
His personal life, though largely private, has occasionally spilled into the public domain, especially during heated political contests. Ruto's formal entry into politics came in the early 1990s, courtesy of his involvement in the Youth for KANU 92, YK92, a powerful lobby group mobilized to secure President Moi's re-election. As a key operative, Ruto learned the art of political mobilization, patronage, and grassroots campaigning. The experience provided him with invaluable connections and a springboard into elective politics. In 1997, Ruto contested and won the Eldoret North parliamentary seat on a KANU ticket, defeating the seasoned incumbent Reuben Chisaya. His victory marked the beginning of a meteoric rise. He served as the Member of Parliament for Eldoret North from 1997 to 2007 under KANU, and subsequently from 2007 to 2013 under the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM.
To have any roadmap that has no date on when the elections will be held. How are they planning?
As an MP, he quickly established himself as a shrewd operator, earning appointments to various cabinet positions, including Minister for Home Affairs, August to December 2002, in the Moy administration, Minister for Agriculture, April 2008 to April 2010, and Minister for Higher Education, April to October 2010, during President Mwai Kibaki's era under the coalition government.
I want to ask the Prime Minister to be man enough and democratic enough to face his opponents and use better means of engagement than the guerrilla tactics and the shadow boxing.
Ruto's political journey was not without turbulence. He shifted party allegiances, moving from KANU to ODM, and later helped form the United Republican Party, URP, which would become a key player in the Jubilee Alliance. He strategically allied with Uhuru Kenyatta, then the leader of the National Alliance TNA party, and ran as Kenyatta's running mate under the Jubilee coalition. Ruto's partnership with Uhuru Kenyatta in the Jubilee Alliance was pivotal. In the 2013 general elections, he became Kenya's first elected deputy president, a role he would hold until 2022.
I, William Samoei Ruto,
in full realization of the high calling,
in full realization of the high calling.
His tenure was marked by both cooperation and tension with President Kenyatta, especially as the two leaders' political paths diverged in the run-up to the 2022 elections.
Kenya wote wako salama. Wacha kutuambia ya kwamba tutakujua wewe ni rais. Sisi ndio tulikuchagua na tulikuchagua uwe rais wa Kenya. Wacha kututisha. Sisi hapana watu wa kutishwa. Kweli ama si kweli? Kweli ama si kweli?
We do begin with a very historic move. President Uhuru Kenyatta this evening appointed his deputy William Ruto as acting president.
In October 2014, Ruto briefly served as acting president while Kenyatta attended a status conference at the International Criminal Court, ICC, in The Hague. The symbolic handover underscored the trust and the underlying political calculations between the two men at the time. As the 2022 general election approached, the political landscape shifted dramatically. Despite his close working relationship with President Kenyatta in their first term, their alliance fractured, with Kenyatta publicly endorsing Raila Odinga, Ruto's long-time political rival.
I supported you when you needed a man to support you. If you do not want to support me, leave me alone.
Ruto's presidential ambitions were never in doubt. After a dramatic fallout with Kenyatta, he launched his campaign under the United Democratic Alliance UDA banner, positioning himself as the voice of the hustler nation, a narrative aiming to appeal to ordinary Kenyans, particularly the youth and those from humble backgrounds, promising economic transformation from the bottom up. This grassroots approach resonated with a significant portion of the electorate.
Tuanze na chini huku safari hii. Ndio tupange ajira ya vijana. Hapa chini. Ndio tupange biashara yenu. Hapa chini. Ndio tupange kilimo kwanza. Hapa chini. Yaani hapa bottom. Hapa chini. Alafu tuende up. Yaani bottom alafu up. Yaani bottom up. Hebu nione watu wa bottom up hapa, nione watu wa bottom up, bottom up, bottom up.
His campaign pitted him against Raila Odinga, a veteran opposition leader backed by Kenyatta himself. Ruto's message of economic empowerment for ordinary Kenyans resonated widely, and after a tightly contested election, he was declared the winner with 50.49% of the vote. The result was challenged in court but ultimately upheld. and he was sworn in as president on September 13th, 2022. His presidency has been focused on implementing his bottom-up economic transformation agenda, prioritizing agricultural development, affordable housing, job creation, and accessible healthcare. Since taking office, President William Ruto has made significant strides in steering Kenya's economy towards recovery and inclusive growth under his bottom-up economic transformation agenda, BETA.
Nataka mnielewe, mimi mpango yangu na nia yangu ni kubadilisha hii Kenya. Hii Kenya haiwezi kubadilishwa kiholela.
His administration has successfully stabilized the economy by lowering inflation from over 9% in 2022 to around 3.5% in early 2025, strengthening the Kenyan shilling and boosting foreign exchange reserves. These macroeconomic gains have created a conducive environment for job creation, with over 244,000 jobs generated through the affordable housing program and the informal sector, alongside increased enrollment and employment in technical and vocational education and training (TVT) institutions. In agriculture, Ruto's government has implemented a fertilizer subsidy program that reduced input costs, leading to a 38.9% rise in maize production and a 19% increase in paddy rice output, which has improved food security and lowered the cost of living. The administration has also focused on expanding industrialization and infrastructure, including constructing industrial parks, fresh produce markets, and roads to enhance trade and value addition.
Ndio barabara itoke Mandera, ikuje Ramo, ikuje Gari, ikuje Elwak, ikuje Kobo, ikuje pale Kotulo, ikuje Tarbaj, ipitie hapa Wajia, iende Samatar, iteremuke Modogashe, ifike Isiolo, iende Nairobi, watu wa Northern Kenya wakae kama Wakenya wengine.
On the social front, the government expanded social protection programs like Inua Jamii and rolled out the universal health coverage Taifa Care initiative to improve access to affordable healthcare. Furthermore, President Ruto has championed financial inclusion through the Hustler Fund, which has disbursed billions in affordable loans to millions of small business owners, empowering the youth and micro-entrepreneurs. His digital transformation agenda has brought thousands of government services online and established numerous digital hubs, fostering innovation and better service delivery.
Yeah? And we want to give as many young people in Kenya, across Kenya, an opportunity like the one you have.
Internationally, Kenya has strengthened its diplomatic profile, hosted the Africa Climate Summit, and engaged in regional peace efforts, signaling a commitment to sustainable development and global cooperation. No account of Ruto's life would be complete without addressing the controversies that have dogged his career. His name has surfaced in several high-profile land scandals, finance bill controversy, and unfulfilled promises, each casting a shadow over his public image. What happens when a nation's youth, armed with smartphones and a collective sense of injustice, confronts the highest office in the land? Kenya found its answer in the dramatic saga surrounding the Finance Bill of 2024 and the unprecedented Gen Z-led protests that shook the country's political establishment. In mid-2024, President William Ruto's administration introduced the Finance Bill, a sweeping set of tax proposals aimed at raising government revenue and addressing budget deficits. The bill sought to increase taxes on essential goods such as bread, cooking oil, fuel, and even mobile money transactions, while also introducing new levies targeting the informal sector and digital economy. The government argued these measures were necessary for economic development, but critics, especially among the youth, saw them as exacerbating the already high cost of living and deepening economic inequality. Despite the removal of some contentious clauses after the initial backlash, the bill was passed by Parliament on June the 25th, 2024. This move ignited widespread outrage, particularly among Kenya's Gen Z, who felt disproportionately burdened by the proposed taxes and excluded from the political process. On June 25, 2024, the protests reached a dramatic climax when demonstrators stormed the Kenyan parliament, setting parts of the complex ablaze and symbolically seizing the ceremonial mace. The violence drew condemnation from both domestic and international observers, including the UN Secretary General and Kenyan civil society groups. The government's initial response was to deploy the military and adopt a hardline stance, but the scale of public outrage forced a rapid political recalibration. President Ruto, acknowledging the voice of the people, announced he would withdraw the finance bill and not sign it into law. He also expressed a willingness to engage in dialogue with the youth, recognizing their central role in the protests.
I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 finance bill.
Perhaps the most infamous is the Weston Hotel saga. The hotel, located opposite Nairobi's Wilson Airport, sits on land originally owned by the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, KCAA. Investigations revealed that the land had been irregularly acquired and transferred through a series of dubious deals. Ruto admitted the land was acquired illegally by the original owners before he purchased it and offered to compensate the state. However, the KCAA rejected compensation, demanding the hotel's demolition, arguing that the acquisition had been fraudulent. The controversy remains unresolved, fueling public debate over accountability and privilege. Ruto has also faced allegations over the Kenya Pipeline Company, KPC Ngong Forest land scandal. He was accused of fraudulently receiving millions of shillings from the sale of land belonging to the KPC. Although he was charged in court, the case was eventually dismissed, with Ruto maintaining that the charges were politically motivated.
The Constitution did not change the principle that you are innocent until proved guilty. Not a single shilling was paid to William Ruto.
In 2025, President Ruto found himself at the center of a new storm, the state banquet controversy. Reports emerged alleging extravagant spending and favoritism in the organization of a high-profile dinner at the State House. Critics accused the administration of opulence and mismanagement at a time when many Kenyans were struggling with economic hardship. The controversy sparked heated debates in parliament and on social media, with the president's allies defending the event as a necessary diplomatic gesture, while opponents decried it as tone-deaf excess. The incident highlighted the ongoing tension between Kenya's political elite and the public's expectations of accountability and restraint. William Ruto's life is a tapestry woven with ambition, controversy, resilience, and a relentless drive to succeed. From the dusty roads of Kamagut to the corridors of State House, his journey encapsulates the promise and peril of Kenyan politics. Whether hailed as a champion of the hustler nation or criticized for his entanglements in scandal, Ruto remains a central character in the unfolding story of a modern Kenya, a leader whose legacy will be debated for years to come. His story leaves us with a lingering question. In a nation where the line between hero and villain is often blurred, how will history ultimately judge William Ruto?